Thank you. Our next Senator Recto, your 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, yung mga katanungan ko will be basically on three issues. One, ang una-una ay tungkol sa napakahalagang PNP report na binigay sa atin. At itong PNP report na to, ang nakapirma si General Talino. Okay? At dito sa PNP report na to, nandito yung buong chronology of events on the point of view of the PNP. At meron dito pre-operation phase, may execution phase, reinforcement phase, extraction phase, retrieval phase, so on and so forth. No? Ito, kumbaga, parang seconds to disaster ang format. Okay. So let me begin, Madam Chair, para malaman natin to. Bakit ganito ang pag-iisip o pagsalaysay ng PNP dito? Let me start from the reinforcement phase muna. At 6:30 a.m., nakalagay dito, the SAF troops personnel moved to bounce toward the location of 55 SAC. Another group of airmen engaged them into heavy firefight in between waypoint 8 and 9. The troops maximized firepower and maneuvered to penetrate towards the location of the 55 SAC personnel. But the enemies were strongly entrenched in their positions, preventing the troops from pushing forward. Number one, 6:30 yan. At 7 o'clock, let me just read highlighted portions na dahil mahaba to. The first option requested, ito yung humihingi na kayo ng tulong. The first option requested was to provide indirect fire support, artillery support. However, it did not materialize due to the existing peace process between the GRP and the MILF. So meron ditong pagbanggit dahil sa peace process. And then let me continue. 7:20, humingi ulit kayo ng indirect fire. 7:30, ang 45 SAC yun At 7:30, humingi din ulit ng indirect fire ang 55 SAC naman. So let me move further down to the extraction phase. At 12:28 noon time, pumasok na yung coordinating committee on the ceasefire cessation of hostilities. Before that, 11:30 a.m., enemy forces peppered the 84 SAC with mortars and heavy volume of fire. The troops remained in a defensive position. PO1 Yamulduan was wounded during the exchange of fire. Extraction phase, yung 12:28 na nabanggit ko kanina. At 12:41, all units were advised to cease firing, but enemy forces still engaged the troops. So on and so forth. Hanggang sa dulo na yan. At meron din tayo mga text messages between General Napenas and General Pangilinan. Reiterating, by text naman, seconds from disaster din. Lahat ito pinag-uusapan. Lumalabas dito, para bagang, and please explain it to the committee, it would appear to me here na parang dahil sa ceasefire, parang umawat ang gobyerno, nagkaroon ng unilateral ceasefire sa gobyerno, pero wala naman ceasefire sa MILF. General Talino, pwede mo bang ipaliwanag sa amin to yung report mo? At General Napenas, can you explain to me all these text messages, your exchanges between General Pangilinan in relation to the ceasefire at yung para bagal lumalabas sa lahat ng dokumentong ito? No, dahil sa ceasefire, uulitin ko, nagkaroon ng unilateral ceasefire ang gobyerno, pero hindi naman huminto ang MILF at binugbog na kayo ng binugbog at pinatay na ang karamihan ng mga SAF sa 55th. General Talino.
Yes, Your Honor, Madam Chair. I will start it when the time Colonel Henera del Rosario, the commanding officer of 1st Mechanized Brigade, he called me up and said that, Sir, papasok na yung CCCH IMT. That was around, mga before lunch, 10-11 a.m. And then pakisabihan si Superintendent Mangahis, who was at the ACP that time, na salubungin sila dahil sila yung magkukos ng ceasefire, yung papasok doon sa area. So I called up Superintendent Mangahis and informed him about that information from Colonel Del Rosario na salubungin sila. So true to it, dumating yung IMT, pero according to Superintendent Mangahis, pumunta pa sila doon sa base command ng MILF para magpaalam. And then bumalik sila around noon time, tanghali na yon. Sabi niya, sir, ceasefire na. Ceasefire. So we advise our troops on the ground na mag-ceasefire na sila. Pero ang reklamo ng mga tropa natin doon sa ground, sir, nag-ceasefire na kami, pero yung mga kalaban, pumuputok pa rin. So yun, kaya nga sir, nandyan yung report namin, yung ceasefire, nag-ceasefire na yung mga tropa, pero continuous yung putok ng kalaban.
Kaya mo bang bilangin ilang beses kayo humingi ng tulong for artillery support sa AFP?
Yung matatandaan ko lang, Your Honor, nung pumunta kami doon nung umaga, that was around 7:30. And then I sent a text message to Colonel Del Rosario around 8:30. Yun lang yung natatandaan ko, pero yung ibang request from the other officers like Superintendent Mangahis and Director Napenas, hindi ko na po yun nabilang, Your Honor.
Dito sa records that we have in the committee, ang unang-una 6:80 ng umaga. May text message si General Napenas na engaged SAF troops doon malapit Ilog, 2 kilometers east of Barangay Tucal-Nipaw, GC, binigay coordinate, bandang gitna, going to target, sir. Sagot ni General Pangilinan, copy. And then at 8:35, General, good AM, ito location, marami kalaban, GC 688663, yung coordinate ulit. Request indirect fire, wala mga civilian doon kanina pa. And then, ang may sagot ulit, sir, good AM, ito locations, marami kalaban. Ulit at 9:10. Kayo naman, nandun na kayo sa tactical command post sa AFP. Humingi na kayo ng tulong din doon, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, around 7:30.
Okay. So ito, 9:10 na. Ganun ulit. Pero posibleng may mali sa coordinate dito. Dahil wala naman 365 degrees eh. Okay? So, isang mali na dito sa coordinate. Okay. And then, you continue at 9:12. May sagot naman si General Pangilinan, copy sir, mechanized is in the area already and will provide assistance. Sinabi pa niya, for your information, nag-request sa din ako ng choppers. Okay? And then, 9:20, nagpasalamat ka. General Napenas, big thank you, Ed. And then, at 10:54, so simula ng 6:18 hanggang 10:54, puro pag-uusap lang kayo at walang, nagpatulong naman ng AFP, nagpadala ng infantry. Pero wala pa rin yung assault, yung ang tawag doon, yung indirect fire, artillery. But at 10:54, we advised them to cease fire. Meron ng ceasefire dito, 10:54. At 11:46, pinag-uusapan ceasefire din at tumigil na nga lahat. And then, ang nakakabahala dito, may text na naman si General Napenas, for info sir, latest location. Sir, good morning, for info po. Nasa barangay tuloy na po kami with IMT and MILF. Chair, hindi, sa ceasefire muna to. Okay? Sagot naman ni General Napenas, hindi tumigil MILF pag-atake sa atin, sir. Ito location namin, binigay ulit yung location. Baka maubos tao natin, sir. Mga lugar na ito. Sir, request indirect fire support sa paligid ng locations na ito. And then, nagpa-text ulit. Sir, dumating pa reinforcement, MILF, dumarami sila. 102 na yon. And then, at 121, Sir, good PM, reportedly, mga BIF na umaatake sa SAF and AFP troops kaya di sila tumitigil. Sir, baka pwede artillery support na ulit. And then, ang sagot, For your information, IMT is in the area negotiating for ceasefire. So the casualty can be evacuated. Sa pagkaalam ninyo sa oras na ito, ilan na yung namamatay?
During that time, Your Honor, at around 1 p.m., wala pa kaming information doon sa mga patay, pero as reported by our troops on the ground, sabi nila may mga casualties na. Ang casualties may be wounded or killed. So, hindi namin
I'm mentioning this dahil ito mga official documents that we have here. And I'm not blaming anyone. Ang sinasabi ko lang dito, maliwanag, na ang gobyerno, it appears to me, may ceasefire. At ang MILF, hindi tumigil sa pagputok. Madam Ferrer, Secretary, did you have knowledge of this ceasefire, and what was the role of the OPAP or the negotiating panel, and do you realize today, at this point, for example, that ang gobyerno sumunod sa ceasefire unilaterally, it would appear, at least based on the documents that I've seen, pero maliwanag yung MILF dito, hindi sumunod.
Your Honor, based on the ceasefire agreement, there are several types of prohibited acts or what are acts that are considered hostile acts, including uncoordinated movement of troops.
Anong ibig sabihin ng uncoordinated movement of troops?
Sir, yun po yung coordination.
Na dapat ang SAF nag-coordinate sa inyo, sa MILF, na pupuntahan nila si Marwan?
Again, sir, we're referring back to the protocols. Kasi po, pag ang MILF po, halimbawa meron silang pulong na gagawin sa Camp Darapanan at lalabas po yung kanilang mga tropa para makipagpulong sa liderato nila, kino-coordinate po nila yan sa ating ceasefire committee para matiyak na walang aberya na mangyayari. Kung meron din pong kaya po tayo meron din coordination protocols pagdating sa law enforcement precisely para hindi po magkatakutan. So, ganun po yung usapin dito. Nung nag-breakdown po yung ceasefire, naglabo-labo na po. Kasi wala nga pong malinaw na line of command na nag-ooperate sa bahagi ng MILF. Wala po silang commander doon na nag-order sa kanila kung ano pong gagawin nila.
Okay, so
sa bahagi din po ng government, hindi ko po alam kung saan po nanggagaling yung line of command ng SAF troops. And I'm presuming nandun po nanggagaling sa TCP under Director General Napenas.
So wala ka nakikitang pagkukulang ang MILF dito?
Doon po sa sitwasyon na yon, yung po usapin kung meron overkill, pwede talaga pong bawal yon sa batas. Pero yung sitwasyon po na nagputukan na, yun po talaga yung ina-avoid natin. And we're happy to say that this is only the second time that we had such a major firefight since under the period of, under the administration of President Aquino, from 2010 up to 2015, this is only the second incident.
But you will accept that unilaterally, the government huminto. Pero yung MILF, hindi huminto sa pagputok at pagpaslang.
Probably yours, as a senator, that's the one that will have to be reconstructed because you also know that there are other armed groups there who were also fighting it out in that area. And the command that came from maybe the commander of the MILF who went there, but who got there only about 1 o'clock, sila po ang makakapagbigay ng kwento kung paano nila actually in order yung mga tropa nila kung para huminto na sila makipagputukan. Kasi hindi po natin alam kung ano talagang nangyari from 5:30 hanggang precisely hanggang mga 12 o'clock.
General Napenas, tama ba itong binabanggit ko sa inyong pagkaalam?
Yes, Your Honor, and I would agree with you. Yung sinabi nyo kanina na unilateral, tumigil po yung ating gobyerno, yung PNP staff. Pero on the other side, sa nakikita namin, doon sa report ng ground commanders at saka yung pagmomonitor namin ng radio at saka dito sa exchanges ng text messages, Your Honor, hindi po sila tumigil yung MILF. At kung sino man yung armado na tinutukoy ni Secretary Ferrer, MILF, or kung sino man yung grupo na nag-i-engage yung SAF troops, tuloy-tuloy pa rin sila ng pag-engage hanggang alas 6 ng gabi, Your Honor.
Kasi kompleto naman yung report dito eh. From reinforcement, extraction, retrieval.
Mr.
At patuloy yung...
Your Honor, kasi ang OPAP is not on the ground. I think maybe General Galvez that should answer.
Sir, I think the process of ceasefire is continuing negotiation between the opposing forces.
Pero tama ba yung pagtingin ko dito
I think
na
it's
huminto ang gobyerno at hindi huminto ang MILF
sir, ganito po yan,
at
sir.
BIFF? Lagay na natin.
Sir, ang ano natin, sir, there are two teams na nagre-negotiate. We have the one team for the MILF and one team for the government forces. So the process is they will really go in between the two forces, and I believe the contention of the PNP that there is a unilateral sa proseso po talaga ng ceasefire as per experience. Kahit nasabihin po natin by phone na mag-ceasefire na, hindi po talaga magpapigil ang putukan because they are engaging. That's why the strategy normally is each position should be strengthened in a sense na nakakaroon. Kaya nga nung tumawag po ako sa isang officer, sinabi ko na kailangan ng PNP pumunta sa high ground and have an active defense. Hindi po pinatigil. Dahil kasi actually po, hindi po talaga siya titigil dahil kasi nando po yung sa mainit na po yan. At sa time na po talaga natin ma-break into half yung dalawang forces. So I believe there is no truth na unilateral yun, dahil kasi ongoing ang firefight. Ang medyo problema lang po natin, ang 55th, I was there in the area twice. Napaka lower ground po talaga sila. Napaka defensive, napaka baba po talaga. And I believe kung titingnan po natin yung tape, kung ang intense fighting is from 7 to 9, more or less marami pong casualty in between 7 to 11. Doon po ang casualty.
Well, like I said, 6:80 humihingi na ng tulong eh. 6:80 ng umaga pa lang eh. At it appears na wala nga gawa nung yung usapan sa ceasefire. Yun ang sa dami ng dokumentong binigay na sa atin at ito lumalabas sa nakikita ko. Yes, Mr. Iqbal.
Nabanggit kasi na nag-ceasefire yung PNP, SAF, hindi nag-ceasefire yung MILF. Siguro we have to
AFP at PNP.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to reconstruct what really happened. First, there was no coordination. That's the first belen.
Coordination, what do you mean by there was no coordination?
Adyag to Adyag, in PNP to PNP SAF to the Adyag of government. And then the Adyag of government, because they were not informed, they were not able to coordinate with their counterpart from the MLF.
Nakukunin si Marwan.
Hindi ho, yung operation po.
Kaya nga, na there was no coordination, nakukunin si Marwan.
Well, I'm not going to that, but I am pinpointing on, I'm zeroing on the issue of coordination.
Yes.
So wala hong coordination ng PNP SAF doon sa Adyag nila. And then dahil hindi na-inform po yung Adyag na gobyerno, hindi rin nila na-inform yung Adyag sa MLF. And then, from the Adyag level, hindi nila na-coordinate o na-inform yung CCCS po ng gobyerno sa MLF. So that's the first belen. That's the first belen, meaning lack of coordination. The second, the second belen, which is the consequence of non-coordination, pumasok sila. Madaling araw. In full force, 392, armado po. So pagpasok nila, nagkaroon ng enkwentro. Tungkol doon sa sino ang pwedeng magsabi na tumigil ang SAP, hindi tumigil ang MILF. Siguro the best entity that would say that it should be the CCCS of government and the MILF.
Thank you for that. Just one last item. I had two more items, but I'll stick to one last. General Napenas, meron pa rin ako isang hanging question na tinanong ko nung unang pagpupulong pa rin natin. No? Ano ba talaga ang naging role ng Amerikano dito, o ng US government? No? Nabanggit na natin na yung ransom money. Nag-umpisa yan dahil sa US. No? At wala akong problema na magtulungan ang Pilipinas at ang US. Ang masama, if we deny it, na kung meron naman talagang pagtutulong. Meron tayong ransom. Yung finger ni Marwan hanggang ngayon, wala sa atin at sa kanila. Okay? Sino nagbigay ng utos na yon? Doon sa, kung di ako nagkakamali, yung mga mapang ginagamit ninyo na Google Map, iba sa military map na tactical, yung isa sa inyo galing sa US government din. Susunod, merong eroplano lumilipad na nagbibigay sa inyo ng aerial view doon sa command center ninyo that there are American operatives also in your command center na napapanood ninyo real time, yung 84th SAF habang binaril si Marwan, habang kinuha ninyo yung 84th SAF, napapanood ninyo in real time. Pwede mo bang ipaliwanag yan sa committee para alam natin?
Yes, Your Honor. As explained by the Undersecretary, USEC Secretary Evan Garcia yesterday, yung unang-una po, Your Honor, tumulong yung US counterpart dun sa intelligence. Pero the details of the intelligence sharing ay madidiscuss po yan ni Senior Superintendent Mendez. Meron kaming isang US counterpart dun sa Seaborn who is working with them in terms of training at saka yung GAM equipment provision, Your Honor. Kasama po yun na ibinibigay nila yung maps na ginagamit for operation, but never nakasama yung US counterpart in actual combat operation. They provided us support doon sa medical evacuation on the second, yung kinabukasan, Your Honor. Yung nakikita na aeroplano, yung tinatawag na...
Excuse me, may I again please interject? May I just remind the officer here that he is already dwelling on matters of diplomatic relations and military intelligence, and I think it's properly covered by privilege.
I agree, Secretary De Lima. I think we should be very careful also with discussing the particulars of this.
Well, I don't have any further questions, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you.